It's almost June and it's time to update my Project Stashdown situation. What am I going to call it? I don't know. I'm filming in my bedroom today, trying a new spot. So if you hear my son cackling in the background, I'm filming this on his last day of school, so you can't get too mad at him. What's Project Stashdown, you might ask? It is my version of Project Pan, but I have expanded it beyond just makeup. The Project Pan community and the makeup community is a subgroup devoted to using the stuff they already have rather than buying more. And for me, this has developed into a kind of use your stuff, shop your stash, use up your shit kind of situation. I just have multiple categories I'm using. Let's check in with how I'm doing in May and what I'm going to do in June. And a quick note that today is the 24th when I'm filming this, so I still have a few more days left in May, but I don't really anticipate any of the stuff that like really didn't get touched, and we'll talk about that. I don't anticipate any of that getting wrapped by the end of this week. So this is going to be about as accurate, I think, as it's going to get. I will have it divided up into categories in case you are specifically curious about one or the other of them. And if you want to join in, use the hashtag Project Stashdown on social media when you post about it. I had 4 total categories when I started this in April, I think was my first month. And I have added this month going into June a new category, so we will talk about that. But let's start with the first category, the one that inspired me to do this in the first place, which is makeup, beauty, skincare, that sort of situation. Stuff to make me beautimous. The 3 products, technically 4, but 2 of them were sort of the same, that I'm not carrying any over, either because I finished them, this is a category I had some pretty good success in, or I don't think I'm going to finish them and I'd like to move on. So let's talk about that first one, the one I'm going to move on from. I had 2 travel sizes of Jo Malone perfumes I had gotten from Sephora. I have fallen completely down the Jo Malone rabbit hole, and I was going to try and finish both of them by the end of the month. One of the 2 I finished. I had barely any left, and I've already bought not a full size because those are really pricey, the one step down from full size. Anyway, that one was the Wood Sage and Sea Salt. I knew I was going to finish that one. I mentioned that at the beginning of the month because I knew I loved that one. The second one I did not finish. I'm actually wearing it today, and I'm probably just going to put this in my drawer and bring it with me as a travel size to have perfume with me when I go places. But I have 3 larger size bottles that I like more than this one, so I don't really feel the need to keep forcing myself to use it when it is not my favorite, and that is the Peony Blush and Suede, Peony and Blush Suede scent. Apparently this one's very popular with brides. It's been many years since I've gotten married. The first time and the second time. So I'm going to move on, but this one's about halfway done now, and I feel fine with as many times as I've used it, and I will just hang on to it 4 times when I feel like it, which will probably not be very often. It's not that it smells bad, it's just not my kind of smell. The second item that I had, I don't actually have anymore. I wound up throwing it away, and that was the Ulta lip oil. Now, I didn't quite finish it, but it was leaking and it was super sticky, and I was finding myself not using it. The whole point of me using it was to use it up so that I could then buy a pricier lip oil. But I finally got to the point where I'd used probably 3/4 of it, maybe more, and it was just so sticky and funky that I had to super clean it every time I wanted to use it. It just wasn't worth it. It was making me not want to use it. So I tossed it, and I bought myself, I actually bought it before I finished using it. I got the Merit lip oil in the color Au Naturel, and I love it. It's so comfortable. I'm wearing it right now with something else that I'm actually going to be doing for June. I am very happy with this lip oil, and I'm happy with my time with the Ulta lip oil. If you're looking for an inexpensive lip oil that's very comfortable, the lip oil juice infused ones from Ulta, they're like store brand, are really good. And then the third one, I basically used up, there's a little tiny bit of it left, like a little bit of it left, but it's enough for me to toss it because it's all broken and I've mostly used it and I've had it for quite some time. That was the Thrive Cosmetics Brilliant Eye Brightener in the color Miko. I love these. This is like the 3rd one of these I've gone through. However, I have found that the e.l.f. creamy eye sticks or whatever they're called are only $5. They're cheaper than this. You don't have to pay for shipping, and they work just as well. So I'm going with those for now instead of replacing this guy. So I'm going to toss this one. This one's done. The Ulta lip oil is gone. And like I said, the perfumes, one of them was empty. The other one, I just decided I don't like it enough to keep trying to finish using it. So I feel really good about this category in terms of actually using my shit. So all three things that I am putting into it for this month are all stuff I know I like. They're things I know I'm going to use. I use them every time I need them, and I just want to make sure I keep using them and hopefully see if I run out of them. So let's talk about them. The first one is an eyeliner. It is from NYX. It is the Epic Wear Liner Stick in the color Deepest Brown. This is how big it is. This is not how big it starts, but it's when you have to whoops. Is that a sharpener? No. It's when you have to sharpen. And I think if I can get it down to the NYX, I'll be able to get rid of it because I won't be able to use it anymore because of my tendonitis. I may use this up this month. I put this just inside the waterline on my upper lash line, and it helps darken up my lashes so that I don't need to do anything extreme like falsies or whatever because that's too much work. So this guy's going into my Project Stashdown for the month of June. The second is another liner, but this one has a little bit more left, but we'll see how it goes. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Lip Liner in the shade Pillow Talk. It's what I'm wearing under the Merit lip oil, can I think today? I still have more left to go. I probably won't get through this month, but I'm hoping to. This is my favorite lip liner that I have. I have some of the Lisa Eldridge ones, and I'd like to order a color that's in the same kind of like nude for me, my nude skin tone from her. I'd like to use this one up and try a different brand, so I'll see how far I can get through this one in the month of June. And then the third thing has really come into play now that I'm back into shaving my legs. It is the Ultra Repair Cream Intense Hydration. It has the active ingredient of colloidal oatmeal in it, and I had bought this to use as a hand cream, and I didn't like it as a hand cream, and so I kind of set it to the side because it was pricey, and I didn't want to waste it, but I also wasn't super into it. Like, I bought this back in Napa. I got really bad dragon skin during the winter here in Colorado. My skin was not prepared for how dry it is here in general, but especially in the winter, especially because I take 2 showers a day because of my chronic illness. So my skin was getting gnarly between the psoriasis I have and the dragon scales I was getting on my legs. I was at the point where I was like too embarrassed to even wear shorts because it was so funky looking. Then I learned that colloidal oatmeal is actually a really good thing if you have that kind of skin, and that this cream is actually really good for that specific problem, like the dryness, the dragon scales that come from dry skin when you are in a climate like this. I was like, well, I already have it. Let's give it a try. This stuff is working wonders on my legs. I am already, it smells nice. I'm already almost out of it. So I figure this, if I keep shaving my legs, if we don't have any more snowstorms, which we just came out of in the month of May, then I should be able to get through this in the month of June. Like, this might be an easy one, but it is definitely going to be a winter staple for me. All right, those are the beauty items. Then the next category is the one that I'm always the most excited about because it's stuff I really love. It's planner shit, stationery shit, that kind of thing. It's also the one I usually have the most items in. So this one I did not have quite as much of a success as I did last month, but that's okay. I don't actually feel too bad about it. So let's talk about it. First and foremost are the stickers that I have been using now since the start of Project Stashdown, and I'm going to continue on using in the month of June. This isn't so much a use them extra kind of thing because they're not really going to be extra things that I use. What they are is just a reminder to keep using them. This is one of those things where keeping them in the Project Stashdown reminds me every time I might need these to pull them out and use them. And that is my Procrastiplanner, etc. stickers. The YouTube stickers, you can see where they are now. I am more than halfway done with this, so at the end of July I should be through these, I think. Same with maybe even faster, the live stream stickers for YouTube from Procrastiplanner, etc. Both of these are stickers I'm going to continue using this month. They are staying in the Project Stashdown, and I am just glad to keep remembering to use them. Now, secondly, were the stickers I was going to try using in my daily. In the previous month of this, I tried using a journaling sticker kit and trying to use it up. This time I was just trying to work my way through some of the leftovers of kits that I have hung on to in my daily planner, and what I discovered is I really don't care for using this style of stickers in my planner as much as I like the look of it, but I find I use more stickers and have a little bit more fun with it in my work planner if I'm using the journaling style. So there's this particular kit. Notice here, not a shit ton. I did use them, but I just didn't use a shit ton of them. So this I'm not going to keep using, but it was an interesting experiment. And then this one I wound up, I think, using a little bit more, but I'd already used a bunch of them as well. So I'm gonna break this kit down and put it in my leftovers binder with the other one. I think what I learned is that I totally can use these. I just don't want to use them over the course of a month. The whole reason I grabbed these two sets was because I wanted variety. If I was going to be using stickers throughout the month in my work planner, I wanted to have a couple different options to choose from, as opposed to the single journaling kit I did in the first month. But even though there was variety, I just really wasn't inspired to use this kind of functional stickers. I wound up using a lot of the Celebrations Collection decorative stickers, but the functional stickers, they just don't work with how I use the daily planner, I don't think. I think I have a way around it when I get to next month, which I'll talk about in a minute. Then the next thing I had on my list was the Scribbles That Matter fine liner. And this guy died on me about halfway through the month. So I only kept it to show you. Now it's going in the trash along with the Thrive Cosmetics and the lip oil. So that one got used up. Fuck yeah. And then finally, the washi tape, and I actually wound up using some of it, but not very much of it. So I'm taking a break from using up a washi tape this next Project Stashdown month, although I will come back to it. I do like this one though, so I'm glad to not have run out of it, but I just kept forgetting that I had it. All right, now that we've gone through the planner items, let's talk about the new ones for the month of June. We already talked about the Procrastiplanner stickers. Both of those, the YouTube and the YouTube Live, are staying in it as they have been staying in it. Everything else is new though to the challenge. The first one is I'm gonna go start using my functional Moxie Life sticker book. So I've used some of these in previous months, some of these event stickers, but otherwise I haven't used them very much. So I'm gonna see if I can use these in my daily planner, which is also a Moxie Life planner. So I may be able to make these work, but I also want to use them in my regular planner as well. So definitely I'm going to be seeing just how much of this I can use up. Currently, I guess for posterity's sake, the only pages I have used stickers on are a few of these event pages. This one, I've used a few of them, and I remember, I think it was the February, maybe monthly situation. This one, and this one, and that's it. So if I can get, there's 15 pages here, and I've used a handful of stickers on 3 pages. So we'll see what I can get used up in both of my planners, bullet journal, whatever I want to use in the month of June. For a pen, I'm not a huge fan of this pen, but I also really, I'm like kind of on the fence. I haven't decided if I like it or if I don't like it. So I'm just gonna see how long it'll last me, because currently it looks like it's still going strong, and that is the Tool Ultra Fine Point Fine Liner in black. I've been using this in both of my planners recently just because, I don't know, I was using a fine liner and I got used to it. So we'll see. I'm still not sure how I feel about this though. So there is that. And then finally, in my quest to use up stickers in my daily planner, but also to have variety, I decided to go and pick out a handful of Krissyanne Designs samplers from my collection, because I have an entire binder stuffed full of them from different events that I've been to and my orders I've put in, and I'm going to just try and use these. So I've got a handful of them that I thought might be relevant in either of my planners, but especially my daily, and we'll see how many of these I can use up completely. So we have this one, 2, 3, this one's already missing a sticker, 4, and this one especially because it's a summary situation, and then 2 bigger ones. This self-care one is 5, and this ice cream one is 6. So 6 samplers. We'll see how many of these I can completely use up in the month of June. And I'm just keeping them in one of my little pockets where I stash my stickers. All right, planners and stationery in the bag. Let's go to art supplies. So I actually didn't bring up the paints with me either set because I'll explain. I only got through about 4 pages of this sketchbook because I didn't do as much painting in a sketchbook as I would have liked to this past month. So I'm carrying the handbook square watercolor sketchbook over into the month of June to see if I can finish it. I'm hoping to finish it. For paints, I used the Archer and Olive watercolors that I got, and I wasn't trying to use them up. I just was trying to put them to good use, and I did. I used them for all my fun demonstrations with my patrons, and I wound up just using them to fuck around a little bit, put a little bit of a dent. I didn't bring them up here because I used them today and they're still wet, so I didn't want to like get them all over the place, but I feel good that I put some use into them, probably more than I would have, but not as much as I would have liked. This next month though, I really want to experiment with gouache, and I got one of those ginormous jelly gouache sets where they look like pudding snacks. I actually spent 3 of my Patreon live streams this last month swatching them and testing them. That's some of what I did in this book. I've got I've got some tulips I was fucking around with, and I got my swatches in here. I got swatches of this set, so I want to fuck around with this jelly gouache set. I didn't bring it up here because it's fucking massive. It's got 50 colors in it. I'll pop a picture of it up here, but that is what I definitely want to experiment with this next month. I don't expect to use it up. I really hope I don't use it up because that's a lot of paint to go through, but I do want to spend some time experimenting with it. So there is that. Moving on to books, and this is the category that I did not fucking touch. I had said at the beginning of May that I wanted to read these books before House of the Dragon premiered because I knew I would be rereading the Fire and Blood, like encyclopedia history book that is the basis of this show. It's a Game of Thrones sequel. I'm really excited about it because I like this story better than even the story in the A Song of Ice and Fire books, which I'm a big fan of. But then the trailer came out, and I spent my time rereading Fire and Blood instead, so there is that. So I'm carrying over both books that I was supposed to read this last month because I really want to read them, and I just got distracted. So those two books are Confidence Culture by Shani Orgod and Rosalind Gill. This is the book about how the love your body, believe in yourself, confidence shit, while it's all well and good, it also tells women that the problems that they experience are because you're not introspective enough, as opposed to things that are structural and systemic in our society. So I'm fascinated by the idea of this, and I am definitely going to read it this month. And then the other one is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, the start of a trilogy called the Broken Earth Trilogy. It's a fantasy book, and I really want to read that as well. But like I said, I got sucked into rereading Fire and Blood instead, and that's a fairly hefty tome. If you know anything about George R.R. Martin, hefty tome is basically next to his picture in the dictionary. So oops, but whatever. So those are going to be my June books. And then I'm finally adding an extra category, and I'm just going to call it household. And this month I only have one item, but I really want to use it up, and that is a candle. I had actually managed to go through all of my candles for the most part and wasn't really buying more, but I have just started because of the one, okay, let's backtrack. In May, the one little word project for this month was to do a practice. And for me, the practice I decided to do was to pull self-care cards out of Ali Edwards' like mindfulness deck that she sells. One of the ones was to just light a candle and relax. And I did that, and I had forgotten how much I enjoy lighting candles. So what I want to do is see if I can burn through this candle in the month of June. The scent, it's Bath & Body Works because that's the candles I buy usually. The scent is Fresh Lemon Waves, which is Summer Citrus, Orange Vanilla Blossoms, and Surfside Breeze, which is basically made for me. It smells good. I've already started burning it. I just want to finish burning it. So that's going to be for this month. Now, I may add other things for household in the future, especially like Mrs. Meyer's products, because I have a ton of those in my back stock. But for today, it's just going to be a candle. So yeah, household. Added that to my list of shit I'm trying to use up. So that is everything I tried to use up, at least in the month of May, and everything I'm going to work on using up in the month of June. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Even if you're not participating in Project Stashdown, is there something you're going to try and thoughtfully use up in this next month? I am not a minimalist. Believe me, I love stuff. I'm not a maximalist either. I love stuffist. I sometimes fall prey to the compulsion to purchase things when I don't need them, and by doing this challenge, it is just helping me not only be more thoughtful with the things I use on a regular basis that I put into this challenge, but in general, it's helping me think a little bit more of using shit up, which is the overall challenge. I will be doing some videos soon on consumerism as we are in the mid-year planner situation, as well as starting to head into the fall when more releases are coming out. I do plan to talk more about that stuff in the future, so I'd also love it if you let me know in the comments below if there's any topics consumerism wise, planner community, planner consumerism related that you would like me to bring up in an upcoming video. I definitely have some ideas, but I would love some more from you. I want to give you the pep talk you need to get through all of the advertising that is being flooded at us on a regular basis. So let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, friends, peace.